Hello and welcome to another secure check cashing video demonstration. This one is going to focus on the loans module that's available in the product. It fits into the currently existing enterprise software, so that if you're familiar with that, if you're a current check cashing customer of ours, it would be the same software, the same look and feel. If you're unfamiliar, then let me introduce you to the welcome screen. The product is installed as most Windows-based applications are, with an icon that you double click to start. You log in with a user ID and password. Just one note, at this point you have the ability to display loans information on the startup screen. This is set currently for loans due within the next 7 days, including any past due loans. So this is available to you. Also, before I show you exactly how the loans module works, I wanted to get into some background information, some kind of setup information with you. Here in the settings area, you would go into loans, and this is something you would need to do before you actually wanted to start running the loans module, the loan software. Print options, you would set number of copies. Here is what determines the information that I just showed you on that startup dashboard. Loans due in however many days you want to set that to. Your duration you would pick as well. Some important information for you: the fees that you're going to charge, how much for late fees, processing, return check, database verification. So these are values that you would want to set before you start running the loans with your customers. Also, generally you have a contract between yourself and the customer that is borrowing the money. We allow you to upload whatever form contract you want to work with. So you would set that up as a Word document, and inside of it you would insert data tags. And here, view all tags is a list of the currently available tags in the product. So you would plug in these data tags in your contract document wherever you need that information to be plugged in, and the product would then look for these tags and insert the appropriate data within your document for you. I have a couple of dummy documents that I've set up here. Currently, the loan software supports both payday loans and installment loans, so I have two different documents for that. I can look at one of them here, view document tags. So I've got some data loaded in there. Also, view the contract, and it's just, again, just some data to show you later on. So it doesn't really look official or formal or binding or anything else, but again, it has the data tags and format of some type, and this will have the data inserted when we create the loan. Also, you can have different documents, not just for the different types, but maybe you need a document in English and a document in Spanish. So whatever your business requires from you for these contracts, you're able to do that, and you can alternate which ones are available that you're going to work with. It's what you set to active down here. So again, this is some of the behind the scenes setup that you would go through when you get into loans. Another area that you would need to include information for, we go into the database, and here on the tab called fees, again, checks only if you're also using the check software, check cashing software. Payday loans, you need, again, fees that you're going to be charging, so whatever those are going to be, you would set them up initially, and the installment fees as well. Back to the product, let me go in, and if you are familiar with our check cashing software, you know that it's very easy to add customers to the database, maintain customer information. So once again, that whole process is what we work with here in loans. I will not go through that. That's available in a separate demo, kind of an intro demo to the check cashing, if you'd like to see that. But for now, let me just grab a customer record that I've got on my database. And this is an example of a customer record. Obviously, they've cashed a number of checks through the system. Excuse me. There will also be a tab for loans. So if you're both check cashing and loans, you'll see both of these tabs on the customer record. If you're one or the other, then that's the only thing you'll see. You notice that we currently have a loan past due. This might not be the best one to select. So let me close out of this customer and go down and grab a different customer that maybe doesn't have a loan, and obviously someone should have checked this before I started. There we go. So no loans outstanding. We'll use this record. Up here we can either cash checks or loans. In this case the example is going to be for loans, so we'll click on that. And notice what type of loan are we talking about here: a payday loan, an installment loan. Right now let's select payday. So this is the screen that we display for you. The due date of the loan is based on the number of days that you're offering. And again, it's based on weekly amounts or up to a month. Also, you can set a different value if you need to. And this is all dependent on the state that you're in and the regulations that you need to follow for that. The fee would determine what values comes up. I'm going to create a loan amount of $100. Finance charge gets plugged in, verification. This is part of the fee structure, the database fee. So here would be the total amount due at maturity. I can't currently show you the connection with Veritech, but that is also part of the loans module. So that reporting function does exist in the product. You've got a check image picture here because one of the things that you could do is have the customer write you a post-dated check to cover the loan amount, whatever that might be. So in that case, you could scan in the check and have that information recorded as well. So here's the check that's going to pay off this loan when it's due. I've got that retained on file. And down here at the bottom, some other information. Let's save the loan as it is. Good. Now we've created that loan for this customer, and print contract. So here we are. And this is the loan agreement. Again, you saw it earlier, but now with the data plugged in. This is the customer. This is my made-up location name. Here's the customer address. The loan is due on this date, began on this date. It's loan number 10 on my system. This is just a counter that runs for you. Loan amount and the fees. So you would print this out and then sign between you and the customer as the contract for this loan. You can update the status of the loan. You can update the due date of the loan. You can make payments against the loan. So let's say that the customer is coming in and it's a different date, because obviously you're not going to pay as soon as you get a loan, and he's got some cash, so he wants to make a $50 payment. So we can enter that as a cash amount, payment description. Let's just make a comment: had cash available. So he wants to pay off his loan today, or part of it. Save and exit. All right, and so we will now update the loan, and let's cancel out of this screen. And notice here on the information on the customer, we have a loan amount that's due the 24th. Loan amount was $126. Now he's made a payment of $50, so here's his current balance. Okay, so that's a payday type loan, and again it will track, and when the loan is due, then you would cash the check to pay off the balance normally. That's why we scan that in. So let me select that. Well, all right. What I'll do is show you an example of an installment loan, a little bit different process. So once again, I'll try for a $100 amount. The interest rate is whatever you've set up for. This time the duration is different. It's a long-term loan, 6 months in this case. Payment cycle, so this is what his payment's going to be monthly based on, based on the amount of the term of the loan. You can print out an amortization schedule, and this shows the payments, when they're due, the amount of the payment, and again, principal versus interest, etc., all the way down the line. This is something you would also have available for your customers so they can see their payment schedule. Same type of thing, we'll save the loan. We've got a contract out there for interest. Now we've got an installment loan agreement versus that payday loan agreement. It may be the same, it may be different. Whatever amount of information you want to include would be in here, etc. So that would be displayed, and the same type of process for making payments, changing the status of the loan, you can cancel it, etc. So that's how the loan module works within the product. Something else by way of information, if you got the customer record already added or not, you would go into Miscellaneous, and again, for those familiar with check cashing, a little bit more information because of loans. We've added some new tabs out here. You would enter the customer employer information, so you've got that registered, bank information just in case, mortgage or landlord information. Again, you're making a loan, you want some information financially about this individual, also their spouse, so we've got that information on file. Any references that you want to have, yes, this is a good person, you can trust them, etc. So all of that information you would want to set up for the customer too, and unlike what I'm doing here, you would try and set that up before you create the loan and not after. So now here, looking at the customer, we've got both an installment loan and a payday loan outstanding. Balances aren't too high, so that's good. And this would be based again on whatever regulations you need to follow for your individual state. Every state regulates differently on loans, whether or not you can do them at all, and what the amounts are, etc. Whether you can extend a loan or not, that's built into the software if that's allowed where you live. So those types of things. But once again, like with our check cashing, we've tried to make it a clean and easy process without a lot of complications, but also covering all of the requirements that we need to for that particular function. So hopefully you found this helpful. If so, please contact Secure Check Cashing. We can talk about the product. We can probably go into more detail. This was not intended to make you an expert on how the loans process works, but rather just to give you an introduction. So with that, I thank you for your time in listening to this and watching this video, and I wish you a very good day from Secure Check Cashing. Thank you.